And sir, what do you think could be a long-term solution to this problem? Because it's a global phenomena. Some time ago, I was talking to another important personality from Malaysia, and she told me that we got this problem that not all the products are labeled properly, and it's an ongoing issue. And so what do you think could be the solution to this problem?
I think the solution would be blockchain, validate by blockchain, and match the barcode with the Jakim QR code. You got now a QR code from Jakim. When you scan that QR code, you go to the Jakim website, but the barcode is not recorded. And that's why all the fake products coming out of China that are halal certified, and they issue normally by Shandong. Shandong is a partner. The Shandong Islamic Center in Shandong is a partner of Jakim, but they actually fake the documents. They fake the documents. If you validate it via blockchain, you can't fake it. We've done the prototype with 299 McDonald's outlets in Malaysia.
Right.
We took them on free. There's no question about. We just want to make sure we can trace them, and also when the customer checks into the McDonald's restaurant, that he can check in via our mobile application, but it's verified actually on the blockchain. And we are using Hedera. It's governed by Google. It's governed by the Deutsche Telekom. It's governed by DBS Bank in Singapore. So you have the global players involved to build a private blockchain verification system.
Right.
And we use them.
Right.
Because we also know that both Unilever and Nestle are also sitting on that network. So we want to make sure we are on the same network, where we might only issue or certify a certain process. Because if you go to Jakim website, McDonald's, it's one restaurant group that's certified. But they don't show you the other 299 certifications. So it's very complicated. Now, if the head office don't pay in time, or there is a delay because of COVID, it means your 299 restaurants will be haram.
You have suggested using blockchain to solve this problem. But sir, let's imagine I am a very small manufacturer, and I don't have so much money to use that system. So what should I, as a small halal manufacturer, do to help solve this problem globally? Because I produce some products, but of course, I don't have the resources and means to verify everything.
The solution is quite small. It doesn't even cost much money, because as long you have the halal, as long you have the Jakim certificate, and you can match on the Jakim certificate your barcodes. It's very important you have your barcodes on, because it's currently not listed on Jakim. They don't care about the barcodes, which is so important in the global supply chain. We talked also to the clients in Malaysia and say, you know, if we go into the Ethereum network, the transaction fee will be quite high, which we don't get that money. So our suggestion was, why don't we use Hedera Hashgraph? Hedera, we can verify a process 1 cent US for a consumer. So if 1,000 consumer use the system, that means times 1 cent, it means it's nothing, it's just $10 or what. We have in Malaysia, we got 126 factories. Yes, they're on our system.
Right.
And it was very easy to get, because they all have the same problem with Jakim in Malaysia. So they come to us, we don't even have to go to them. The latest one, we got Columbia Hospital joined us. We got the Parkway Hospital. I think they got 9 in Malaysia that joined us. We got the Glen Eagles Hospital. We got about 35 hotels, which is also an issue with the hotel. I give you an example. Shangri-La. Everybody knows Shangri-La in Malaysia. It's a beautiful hotel. I know properties all over Malaysia. I always stayed with my family. They have only for food catering halal certification. That means if you actually go to the restaurant, it's not halal certified. But when you look at online, everybody thinks it's halal certified. So when we add those data onto our metadata, system. It shows exactly who is certified and who is not. So that's an example. So we keep talking to them. Why don't you make all your properties halal certified? It would be good, because Shangri-La is the top brand. I wouldn't know a better brand in Malaysia than Shangri-La Hotel.
Right.
But they have that issue that it's not, of course, if you have your breakfast, it's halal, because they have the menus. What is halal certified by Jakim? But they couldn't put actually the logo on the restaurant that they're halal certified, because it's only the other system for catering, for meeting and conferences, government meetings. Of course, they have to be halal certified, as Malaysia is a very much Bumi-Putra country with management and from government level. But just as an example, but there are also, of course, other issues where Malaysian manufacturers, I give you a good example. We have about 40 Malaysian manufacturers that manufacture halal, but they are not Muslim owned, they're Chinese.
Okay.
About 90% of all halal certified companies in Malaysia exporters, they are Chinese. They are actually not Malay or Bumi-Putra. But they all often tell us they are left behind, because if it's going to a Malaysian halal, when the Malaysian government is going for a halal expo and advertises everywhere in the world, they very much advertise their own Bumi-Putra link companies. And the other get very little out of it. So that's why they're joining our system. So what we do is, we talk to Halal Expo in Saudi Arabia. We make a special partnership with the with eHalal in the Saudi Halal Expo, and say we bring those manufacturers because they got good products. You know also very well the halal market worldwide. So if you look for Malaysian halal food in Europe, you find very little. Because the taste is different. The taste is different. If a Turkish guy sits in Berlin and wants to buy halal food from the groceries, he isn't going to buy Malaysian fried rice or nasi lemak. It's a cultural. He wants to get his kebabs or his other food. And what is very good, it's natural. But that's why Thailand fits so well in. Because Thailand manufactures to the world what the world needs, not what they want to sell.
Okay.
So I give you an example. In Malaysia, we got 55,000 SKUs, halal SKUs, that we found out about. Thailand has 169,000. It's 3 times higher, but the Muslim population is only 7%. 93% in Thailand are Buddhists. You buy any coffee, you buy any milk, is it from Nestle or whatever it is, it's always halal. So that's why the Thai numbers are very high, of course.
Right.
How to market it worldwide. And it's also another issue in Thailand. The halal certification has nothing to do with politics. I give you another example. Let's link Thailand to France. In France, we got 3 halal certification agencies that are all approved by Jakim and by the Thai government. And they are the Grand Mosque of Paris, the Grand Mosque of Lyon, and there's another mosque. It's about 80 kilometers outside of Paris. So we, of course, use all 3 manufacturers to supply their products on our system. Because, you know, it's a huge market. I can tell you, we are selling daily halal manufactured product from Paris. We are shipping them to Saudi Arabia. We are shipping them to Hong Kong. And you have a minimum quantity. You must have a minimum quantity of 128 units. We wouldn't send you 1 pack.
That's right.
And they also got our eHalal QR code. When Muslims checking in their shop, they can scan our code. So we can monitor.
Right.
And share the data. Actually. It all comes to the data.
Right.
So that's why Thailand and Malaysia see it in the same way. It's a religious issue.
Right.
So what is in Thailand? We got the Central Islamic Committee of Thailand, and they issue the halal certificate, and they work together with the Halal Center in Chulalongkorn University for the halal standard.
How do you reach out to your target customers, sir, generally speaking?
We don't have to. They come to us because
Oh,
we have 900,000 pages in Google. They will come to us,
900,000
of
results.
which we have about 45,000 pages on page one in Google.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
we don't make any, we just get the emails and we respond. We had, I give you an example, we had halal certification inquiries in the US, about 40 alone last month.
Okay.
But we haven't still figured out with who we are working together, because in the US there are few.
That's right.
So we
Okay.
have not decided with who we are working, in the US, but normally we get the inquiries so we
Right.
can see what currently in
Oh.
Philippines it's heavily Cebu City. That's where the manufacturers are sitting.
Right. sir.
So in Australia, normally globally, I call it the alpha centers, the alpha cities. Like in Canada, 80% of all our traffic sitting around Ontario. So of course, if we want to do something in Toronto, we will only focus on Ontario region. We will ignore the other 80% because that's where our market is. And it's the
Right.
same in Germany, only in North Rhine-Westphalia. It's Cologne, Düsseldorf, Munich, Berlin, Hamburg. These are 5 cities. So what we do is we share the data, and we use the data to actually push our products. As an example, of course, if we have a good deal with a manufacturer in France,
Right.
and we have in France, it's about 65% sits around Paris area. So of course, we will push that product from the manufacturer in Paris.
Right.
On the end, we don't do marketing, but actually the manufacturers are coming to us to do the marketing for them.
And sir, as far as the end users are concerned, consumers, final consumers are concerned, what kind of benefit can they get by visiting your website? What can they do over there?
So first of all, they can check if the product is still halal or not, or if it has expired. I think that's 80% of all our website traffic is focused on that one.
That's right.
But then, of course, I give you an example. If there is now a user sits in the US, or let's not always talk about the US, let's talk about London, and he searches for Philadelphia cheese
Right.
from Kraft, as an example. So
Right.
we got all the data, the metadata. So that cheese is a priority cheese because it's normally 60% more expensive than the other cheeses.
Okay.
As an example.
Right.
So what we would do, of course, is after you subscribe to our push notification, we would send them package tours, or just a hotel booking, or just a flight. We have our own flight database, eHalal flights. It's only handling flights, and we only take a margin of 2%, so it's very low. So our flights are the cheapest, almost the cheapest in the world. You can fly from KL to Singapore and back for 150 ringgit.
Right.
So it's $40. So we use that one actually to push our other halal, in the Ummah. We are interesting about halal food. We are interesting about prayers. We are interesting to zakat. We are interesting to have a Muslim-friendly holiday, I call it, because it's in the Western world, you can't have a halal-friendly holiday because you have to adjust yourself into the market.
Yes, you're right.
And that one, and it all works very well, because if somebody looks for halal food, he's also looking for a halal holiday in Turkey or in Bosnia or in Kuala Lumpur, Langkawi, Jakarta. It's global. It's global.
Right.
So that's why we use the system for actually. We push not what we want to push, but we push what we believe is good for them.
So how many products are currently registered, and what your plans are for the future in the coming, maybe in a couple of years' time?
Okay, we have currently 4,950 products on, where they are not only halal certified, but they also can be shipped anywhere in the world. On our other website, we have 9 websites. On our other website, we got 600,000 products.
As far as the industry, the global halal industry is concerned, what do you think where it's going? Of course, I'm talking about the supply chain as well, including everything, whatever you do as a business. What do you think is heading to in the next maybe 5 years' time?
In the next 5 years' time, I think the governments in the world, especially the one I'm talking now about the OIC countries,
Hmm.
they need to come up and push their standard. They have a great standard already, TC11, TC10, TC1 to 9. They have that standard already, but it's those individual countries in the world, like Malaysia, like Indonesia, that don't want to accept that standard because they lose money. So if the OIC countries can get together and have that just one standard, I think it would be globally, it would be great. Because if you have one standard, you don't have to talk more from Thailand to Malaysia, buy the stickers to get the Malaysian standard sticker, which costs money, of course. In Singapore, they charge you 20 cents per sticker. You must imagine if you have 100,000 products, you have another 20 cents per sticker. Our TC11, we are following on our halal management system of eHalal. We follow the TC11 standard. We have to pay every 2 months for that.
Oh.
You know, you can go online to OIC as CMEC in Turkey. They don't publish it free. You actually have to pay by credit card to get the latest information about the standard so we can actually integrate it in our system. So we follow truly standard TC11.
So, for example, I'm one of your potential customer, and could you please give me a list of the reasons why should I select you instead of going to your competitors?
Manufacturer, and you can supply us. We want a minimum company age of 5 years.
Okay.
You must have halal certification. You must have a minimum paid up capital of $250,000 in Malaysia.
Right.
And we have set certain standards, which is very important because we know our buyers in Europe, and they have the money. They want the product, but they only want to pick the top manufacturers to make sure there is no problem by a letter of credit, there's no problem by the shipping, you know. So normally what we do is if you're already on our certification system where we verify your certificate on the blockchain, then you can actually join already because we verify your system already. And then we just have to discuss, you know, as we are taking a few percent, of course. We somehow have to also make a profit for our people, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
And we take and we match you direct with the buyer in Europe. And we work in Europe, we work in Germany with 160 supermarkets. So we got now our eHalal QR code already at 160 supermarkets in Germany. And Germany, it's a love-hate relationship when it comes to halal. In halal, they are totally behind. It doesn't treat the animals well, you know, it's not hygienic, you know, there's always salmonella outbreaks and this all, you know. That's why we never buy halal meat from Germany. I am as a German, I would never buy it. I also wouldn't buy from the Netherlands. It's the same than Germany, it's maximum profits. Yes, so all the food we source is either from France, meat products, it's either it's from France or it's from Italy.
Okay, right.
We do not take from Brazil. We do not accept products from Brazil. They are halal certified, yes. You have to see it as our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said already. You must treat the animals well. So if you steal the land from the people in Brazil and you build the farms, and you can slaughter them halal, for me that's not halal. Because you can't take the land from the indigenous peoples and then call it halal. So we block both countries. We block both Chile and Brazil. With Argentina, we are still talking. Because we want to see the map where the farms are located.
I have decided to join your organization as a potential halal supplier, halal manufacturer. And what do you think? How much time will it take for me to actually start making money by using your system?
I think it might take a month or two. First, of course, would be to know, you know, where is your halal certificate issued?
Okay.
If it's issued, let's say, in Mexico, we cannot take it as an example, because we always look for it that we always have the Jakim, MUIS, MUS, and Central Islamic Committee of Thailand standard. If it's certified there, we take you anywhere globally because we know that standard is well looked after. You know, but if you, let's say, in Europe, we can upload the data immediately on our system.
I joined your company as a halal supplier, and but I got certification from Jakim only, or from Mois only, or from Singapore only. So, do I have to have halal certification from all these three organizations, or just one certification will also do?
Normally not. If you look even at Jakim, you have to, if Jakim has an overseas partner, they are based in the US or is based in Dubai or somewhere, they accept the product or they accept slaughtering of meat.
Okay, right.
Packaged product is no problem. Of course, you can sell it anywhere where Jakim is accepted and where Jakim has already the double agreements with the partners worldwide. But I give you an example. Malaysian halal certificates in Europe are very well known. They have a very high standard because Malaysia has been the leader in the halal industry worldwide.
That's true.
It's only the system now. But I think the system also will be settled because I heard already they got a new budget and they want to actually rechange the whole system.
And sir, could I start selling to the Middle East market as well?
Yes, we also sell. Currently, our main customers are based actually in Europe by drop shipping.
Okay.
And in Saudi Arabia is our biggest market. We sell a lot of food to Saudi Arabia. And that sounds quite interesting, actually. You would actually think that everything needs to be halal certified in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Actually not. Actually not. If you have anything printed in Arabic, you can sell it off because you got Lulu. Lulu is the Indian supermarket chain that got everywhere all over Saudi Arabia. And they got their shops. It's not all halal certified. But we sell Bunda, their beer. That's the root beer. It's not certified, but it's distributed by Lulu supermarket chain. It's not a problem because it's non-alcoholic. It's actually definitely not alcoholic.
Okay, right, sir. And sir, for example, as far as the halal manufacturers are concerned, for example, if they are based in Japan, in Australia, in New Zealand, or any other country apart from Southeast Asia region, will you accept them as your partners or no?
I give you an example. In Australia, many of the Australian muttons and beef, you know, it's or the livestock, it's slaughtered halal actually, but they must show a certificate of at least one of those countries that we are putting, one of the 4 countries.
Okay.
If they are certified in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, we are fine with them. We would not accept a certificate from a US manufacturer. It has that's halal on his label because it's not illegal to do. So you've got a lot of manufacturers. US is our second biggest market. Most of the products we have now halal from the US, it's verified already on the blockchain. There are not so many actually. A very small number. So what we do is actually, you know, we say straight away, we export to Europe. I say Europe, anybody can export. It doesn't need to be halal. Are you exporting to the Middle East? Are you exporting to the Gulf countries or in ASEAN, Southeast Asia? They say no. I say, sorry, we just don't take the risk.
Currently, you are focusing on the halal certification. For example, if I'm a halal manufacturer, I need to have halal certification from these 4 different organizations based in Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, like that. But do you think that maybe do you have any plans to expand to basically include other halal certification bodies into your system as well in the future?
We got many inquiries. They're also partnered already with Malaysia, and they are very partnered, especially in Europe. There are very close routes between Europe, also the US to Malaysia, also even Japan. Maybe as a last thing, what I would like to tell you is, we talk to Jakim. We say, share your data, share your barcodes, share your certificates, and we can put them on. Then we get them on from Europe. We got them on from the US. So we have one system where actually everything can be retrieved.
Right.
But it's not so easy. Nobody wants to share their data, you know. Of course, I understand. You know, if I Nestle, I also wouldn't share, you know. But on the other end, the system we have, that's why we get the traffic every day to our website. It's those Muslimas and Muslims, the Ummah, that come to us because they can't find it in Jakim, they can't find it on all their own system, in their own government.
And of course, sir, as you know, halal is not just for Muslims, it's for non-Muslims as well. Because it's clean, it's healthy, and non-Muslims as well, they can also benefit from consuming halal items.
Yes, I agree to a certain extent. There are not many Muslim-owned manufacturers currently that process food. This whole food processing is controlled by the top 50 companies in the world. And you cannot say, yes, of course you can say, if I'm going to a slaughterhouse, I buy halal meat, I know it's hygienic, I know it's non-toxic, they also have not given animal feed that came from cow or pork or whatever to the animal. So I would say, yeah, that's halal for me. That's where I anyway buy. I buy at butcher. I'm not going to the supermarket to buy halal meat. It still can be toxic because it's processed food. If you look at Nestle, 75%, they say themselves in internally documented, it's unhealthy. The marketing slogan should be stopping from the governments worldwide, where they actually license and look really into the manufacturing process, what the global companies are doing. Because they're still using old e-food code, E-code, that's already 50 years, 55 years old. 55 years ago, nobody talked about halal food. I came first time to Malaysia in 1986. I went to the kopitiam, had my coffee, had my mama food, you know, like chapati or something, and eat, you know. You see it's halal, but it wasn't the Jakim logo. But you always know these restaurants are Muslim. Of course, they sell halal. You know, you had somebody on your website interviewed. That was the lady from Singapore, Diane. She is also doing the tracing of the blockchain globally in the halal supply chain.
That's right.
And what she does, good. But it's sometimes difficult to achieve because the manufacturers don't want you to trace anything. We don't want to talk to the manufacturer. We have our Muslim users. If you join our system, you don't ask to set up fee or something.
Oh.
You don't. You
don't charge anything for joining your system?
We want them to join. And then let's see, you make good money by exporting your product. The next year we talk. No, I learned from that. If you ask them, the first thing Malaysian factories ask you, do I have to pay for them? I say, no, oh, that's nice. I say, why? Why you want to pay? Normally, when Jakim send anything or HTC, it's always about money. You have to pay money before I join. I say, no, you join. We pick the factory. So if your product doesn't fit our portfolio, we tell you, Daddy, we don't take it. We don't want your products. We are picky. We are a bit picky.
If I am a halal manufacturer based in, let's say, from the United States or from Japan or from Australia, from anywhere in the world, even from Malaysia, and of course you are physically sitting in Thailand or in Southeast Asia, you cannot control, because at the end of the day, innamal a'malu binniyat, we say that everything depends on your intentions. If I have if I have shipping issues, or maybe if I have bad intentions, then maybe I want to make quick money and I will not ship the right products or things like that. So do you think that maybe you you already have that kind of system mechanism to control the bad behavior of potential, some of your potential halal manufacturers, or maybe you plan to do so in the future?
I think if I got you right, let me try to answer.
Yes, please, sir.
We work exclusive with SGS, Societe Generale Suisse.
Okay.
There are any LC at site, any letter of credit that gets issued, or any telegram, minimum order is normally a container.
Okay.
It will always be checked, the container. So that's why we always don't make FOB factory, but we always make FOB port, where the inspection can be done directly. And when they don't give the green light, then there also no payment goes over. Everything is by letter of credit. We do not use escrow or something. But we are waiting for the blockchain. I know the Chinese yuan is out already, but we are not so fancy on the Chinese one. But we are waiting for the other national currencies coming out.
Okay.
Because then actually it could be traded and cleared via the national currency. So if somebody wouldn't ship, I think it could be possible to actually withhold the payments. That will be the future blockchain payments.
That's right. And not shipping, or maybe ship. Of course, it's not possible for me to stop the shipping, but it's possible for me as an individual to do the wrong shipping, not to ship the complete orders, or maybe play with some of the items. So
yes,
is there any way for you to control that?
We use SGS. Everything gets cleared by SGS.
Okay.
And if we ship like 128 items, we use drop shipping in Europe. It directly comes from the factories. They have been in business 20 years already. So we're not worried about it. But I give you an example. We are very concerned about Alibaba. There are a lot of companies that contact us from China, we want to sell on this. We don't accept. We have a permanent staff in Shanghai. One of our directors, No Sai Li, he's based permanently in Shanghai. He just moved to London last month, representing us in Europe, because we are setting up an operation in Europe. We have an office in the US. We are on Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington. We have an office. We have a lobbying office in Belgium, in Brussels. Very important. They are just functioning as lobbying office because Europe changed the way they issue halal standards.
That's right.
Like, it's got to be done via Ministry of Agriculture or something. You cannot just private everything. Everybody puts the stamp on it, It's just bad, I'm only in Thailand for the main reason. I'm developing the system, the eHalal ERP system out of Thailand.
Right.
And we work closely with the Halal Center at Chulalongkorn University. We work closely with the Central Committee of Thailand, the Islamic Committee of Thailand, that issues the certificate. And we give them all our data for free. We want to share data with those certification agencies.
That's right.
And in exchange, we get 165,000 barcodes. Finally, the last one, 2 shops. The mom and pop shops in Thailand. The small shops, not big. So we pay them 10 cents if they see a halal product in the supermarket or in their shop. Scan it in, we pay them money, and it gets directly automatically updated to our system.
What message you would like to give to halal manufacturers, not just in Southeast Asia region, but from anywhere in the world? Because it's a truly global industry and people want to enter into the halal industry. There are a lot of would-be entrepreneurs who would like to enter into this industry. So what should they do? How can they benefit from your system, and how can they be a part of this whole global movement of standardizing everything and using platforms like yours?
They can join, they can visit our website and register on our website. And normally what we would do is we would talk to them first and get all the documents out, what day they will register, how many paid up capital. And the reason for I'm going for the paid up capital, you can't ship a container for $100,000 if it's only a 2-pound company. You sort them out before the problem happened, So far, okay. We have no problem on that. And it's also individual that we see if the product actually, I give an example. For jasmine rice, we have 8 suppliers. If there's no a Malaysian supplier that supplies jasmine rice out of Malaysia, we wouldn't take them. We got 8 already. So we have another example, mihun. There are certain products in Malaysia, you know, like nasi lemak, packed and processed. We got 3 manufacturers already. If there's another one come, we would say no. We have 3 already, you know. Already 3 is a lot already, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Indeed.
So we try not volume, we want quality, not the volume.
That's
but we
true.
got Indomie in Indonesia. We got Indomie, all their products. We done direct the deal with Indomie in Indonesia.
Okay.
So we are quite happy about that one. In Malaysia, we have some companies, they are quite large, public listed companies, but we keep a low profile. We keep a low profile because they also want to be keeping a low profile. So as long they don't say we issue a press release, we will also not mention their names.
Okay.
But you can always go to our B2B website and see their logos. They're on.
That's right, sir. Well, thank you so much for your valuable time. It's been really wonderful talking to you and discussing about all these issues. And I hope our viewers will be able to get a lot of benefit out of the knowledge and insights which you have shared with us. And I hope we will be able to catch up with each other sometime later down the road as well, inshallah. And I really truly want to thank you so much for your time today, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Alaikum assalam.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.